Overpopulation is not directly an environmental issue, but the consequences this can leave affects primarily the earth and the whole environment. This happens when the population exceeds the total capacity of the earth. The principal causes about this are the decline in the death rate. This means that in a year there are more people born than people that died, so this elevates the population. Another cause is that there are better medical services which can lead the population to basically live longer. Another one, for example, can be the lack of family planning and the poor sex education that exists, leading to young people having unplanned childs or have more than desired. This automatically leads to depletion of natural resources because the earth can only produce a certain amount of services, water for example, and by exceeding the limit, it isn't enough for everyone, or maybe not for a lot of time. Another terrible consequence is that the degradation of the environment, and I'm just mentioning a few of the consequences. We can have more bad ones if we don't take this seriously, such as wars, pandemics, and epidemics. Extinction of species, climate change will be fast, and a lot of more things. So now that we know this, what can we do? So there are a lot of things we can do to beat this. I will mention the most important ones. Better education, making the population aware of the importance of family planning, helping the environment. The last one can sound out of context, but is one of the most important, because at the same time we restore the population, we need to restore where we live, our planet, our environment.
Okay. Deforestation is a very important problem that we have to take measures because wood is a raw material that is very effective in our daily life. Apart from the benefit that the trees help to the environment, are literally the lungs of the world. And some causes of the deforestation are agricultural expansion, wood destruction, infrastructure expansion, such as road construction, and urbanization. According to the source consult, agricultural is the main cause of the deforestation. The agricultural expansion is that the farmers do for commercial activities, and the cropland, which are the tropical areas, are one of the principal causes of deforestation. The cutting of the trees for urbanization and infrastructure development is caused by the overpopulation, causing them to move to rural areas and convert to a urban area. Some effects, which are the climate change weakens to degrade the soil, takes away animals' habitats, and affects the biodiversity. And some solutions are create laws, protect the forest areas affected, and create incentives for the use of the sustainable forestry certifications. These solutions can help to the environment a lot because the trees allow oxygen to flow.
Water pollution is an important problem because it affects the world where we live, because it contaminates the water that we use. This affects the way that we live. The reason is that the water that is contaminated is the water that we use for drinking, cooking, cleaning, swimming, and other activities. The main causes of water pollution is global warming, deforestation, agriculture, and fuel spillage, etc. It is caused when bodies such as rivers, lakes, ocean, groundwater, and aquifers get contaminated with industrial and agricultural effluents. Many homes have lead pipes or later run connections on the pipes which carry water to their homes. Why is water pollution a problem? 80% of the world wastewater is dumped, largely in trade, become into the environment and pollution is jeopardizing. How can we stop water pollution? The best way to protect the world from water pollution is to prevent it at the source. This means keeping litter and other trash out of creek in rain. It's also important to keep trash out of yards and street. Using less water, for example, the person which lives in a part of the world, they can optimize the water that they use. We need to stop the water pollution because if this continues like this in the future, we will regret it too much. Water pollution, which are the cause of disease or act as poisons, bacteria and parasites, are poorly treated. For example, I have a cousin who looks like Cristiano Ronaldo, and he wastes too much water and unnecessary things, and that is very bad for the world. Today, our children are more likely to have a lot of contaminated water. Con- to in conclusion, we need to prevent water pollution if we want to have a normal life for the rest of our years on Earth.
Trash is the first principal contaminant in the world because trash affects the entire planet in different areas. The main consequence of pollution by garbage involves dehydration and health of living behind. It must be taken into account that garbage releases toxic substances into the environment that spread through the soil as well as the water and the air. Garbage is considered one of the biggest environmental problems in your society. The population and consumption per capita grows, and therefore the garbage, but the space is not also in treatment is not adequate. How can I stop the contamination by trash? The most effective way to reduce pollution is to recycle, reduce, and reuse. That is the most effective approach to reuse. We can also collect the accumulated garbage. One of the most polluted places are the beaches and the cities, due to the excessive amount of the garbage that accumulates in these places, and that is badly, mainly plastics and natural wastes.